John and Kendra Smiley joining us on the couches this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
They said they're ready to give a little parenting advice. So here we go. Here's today's question. My daughter wanted to see a scary movie and I forbid it. Was that the right thing to do? What do you think?
Well, I think that this parent knows the child better than anybody. And so they probably know whether this movie is going to be appropriate or not. The thing that parents need to look at is it age appropriate? And we think of that, that's how the ratings are, or, is it PG or is it whatever? But it's not just the chronological age, it's the emotional age too. So parents know that, and that's what they need to look at.
Right, and there's a difference here when we look at this is between scary and suspenseful and evil. And Kendra and I think that there is no reason at all for a kid to watch anything that's evil. Okay, that's just our opinion. And then we look at scary and suspenseful, and you take an old movie like Jaws, for example, okay, which
good suspense,
good suspense. But one of the questions we have to ask ourselves with kids is the images that come and they remember. Okay, if you remember that movie when the shark came up, and if that's something that frightens kids, like when they're sleeping at night and they watch a movie like that, which we would just say is very suspenseful, that type of thing, and we say, well, it's not too bad, but if that's something that keeps them awake, that image of that shark coming up, then as a parent we need to take a look at that and say, you know what, probably not a good idea. And as Kendra was saying, like age appropriate, if a younger child can't see that and not have it affect them later on in their evenings at nights and they wake up and have nightmares about it, then obviously as a parent we don't want them watching something like that.
Right, if they're afraid to get in the bathtub after that, then that's not good. Literally, I remember my niece, who is older than our children, she said she was watching it, and when that suspenseful music, and then she actually threw her soda pop and popcorn.
Oh my goodness.
But she was old enough that it didn't give her nightmares, but that's great. What image does it leave in your child's mind, and is it the image you want them to replay?
Right, so maybe not a blanket, no scary movies across the board, just kind of gauging where your child is.
Pay attention to your child. We say how many times, be a student of your child. If the child, if it's something that, and it's interesting because really when you look at historical movies, there's a lot of suspense. That's right.
And the one other thing you can do as a parent, if you're not sure about it, is watch it with them. Go to a movie and say, and let's watch it, and then see how they react. And then that will give you a clue as to where they are in the movies that they can handle.
There's some movies I can't handle.
Yeah, I was going to say Jaws. I'm not even old enough at this point. So.
There's several. My kids say, Mom, don't go to that. You're not old enough.
That's
there you go. All right, great advice as always. And if you have a question for the Smileys, send it over to their website. And if we answer it here on the show,